Good sign.
Any questions? Ask me later. First up on your card today, we have our 2016 World Champion, Ricky Wysocki.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gentlemen's Club Challenge. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the disc golf guy. We're getting right into the action here today with Ricky Wysocki on the tee. I'm also going to be joined by 2009 World Champion Avery Jenkins. Avery, Ricky's here. We're on the Adidas Terex course, and he's in the lead.
I'm excited. I can't wait for the action today. I got a great card here. Lead card, third round, first national tour of the year. Ricky off the tee with a fine shot. Down the middle. That should put him in play.
Next up, we have our 2016 Pro Masters World Champion, Johnny McRae.
Johnny McRae stepping back into the open division, proving he belongs here. He's on the tee.
Absolutely love seeing Johnny Mac perform. He's always a crowd favorite, and he just holds it down for the Masters player and playing the Open against the younger players.
And Eagle McMahon, of course, with his amazing finish at the Aussie Open, worked himself onto the leader card, one of the furthest throwers on the planet. Avery, very different approach from the previous two throws we saw.
Being a bigger thrower, he's able to take other routes that'll get him down to the pin and it'll keep him in bounds.
2016 Las Vegas Halloween Classic, Paul Ulibarri.
And the most local of all the players here on our lead card, Yuli just from a few hours away, fourth on the tee. There is a single tree to beat here on this opening hole. First drive, and Yuli caught it. He got a good carry, but not what he was looking for.
Yeah, not sure where that kicked to or if it's even in bounds. We're about to find out.
Of course, we'd again like to welcome everyone here to our third round of the Gentlemen's Club Challenge. We're here on Spin TV's channel, collaboration with Smashbox TV, as well as hole-by-hole coverage brought to you guys by Central Coast Disc Golf. They've been putting out the previous two rounds, as well as rounds 3 and 4, along with various commentary. Got a media blitz going on here. And it looks like Yuli's double-checking his caddy book. I think we're going to see a lot of that today. Players making sure they know when they're in bounds, when they're not, and then what the appropriate rule is when they're in a position.
There's not a single hole on this course that doesn't have OB. And at certain levels, with pathways or waterways or bunkers or greens, it all depends on what layer of that pathway is in bounds or out of bounds, and we'll find out throughout the round.
As you guys take a look at Paul and Katrina, we're going to stand down for just a moment, adjust our microphone. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
Ulibarri just trying to work a fairway driver down the left side, keep it in bounds, put it in play, and try to get up and down from there.
Avery, some of the excitement that's been going on in the disc golf community is in fact the new collaboration with Adidas Terex, along with Innova and the sport of disc golf in general. What does that mean for our sport as larger enter the market and really engage with us disc golfers?
It's a beautiful thing to witness, to see so many different companies and corporations taking a hold of what the beautiful sport of disc is. There's a lot of various disc companies out there, so it's great to see a major world recognized brand such as Adidas to just to get on board and really check out what disc golf has to offer.
And to further that point, Adidas being a primary sponsor here at the tournament, as we watch Eagle McMahon put it within a few feet, this is in fact the Adidas Terex course at the Gentlemen's Club Challenge. There's 3 courses out here this weekend, accommodating nearly 600 competitors for this national tour and PDGA A-tier event. And tomorrow they'll be back at the Innova course, which is where we saw them compete yesterday.
Yeah, we got a lot of sponsors out here. There is 3 courses on this golf complex, and it's great to see Innova, Disc Golf Values, and Adidas taking hold of it.
And a solid run there by Johnny McRae, a little bit of a jump putt from close to 100 feet. Ricky Wysocki, no surprise, closest to the pin here.
Wind's picking up a little bit, had a cross to maybe a headwind. It's been pretty mild, about 5 to 10 mile an hour winds. In practice days, it's been around 20 to 25, so wind let up a little bit just in time for tournament time.
And a little bit of heroics here on hole 1 as Paul Ulibarri makes a long, lofty Anheuser putt. Great putt by Paul Ulibarri. Ricky with the easy tap in. And we'll see both Eagle and Johnny McRae. We're through the first hole. We're going to be back with you in a few moments as we get in position for hole number 2. We're right here at the 2017 Gentlemen's Club Challenge.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park. For me, it's my job. Go in. Oh.
For me, it's all about...
Ricky Wysocki, big shot off the tee. Hole number 2, 504 feet, par 3, a lengthy par 3, and I think Ricky got at least pin high on that shot.
We feel a little bit of a crosswind here as McRae throws his flex shot, similar to Wysocki, but without as much distance. Eagle McMahon may have a slightly different route here.
Look forward to watching this. A massive shot by Eagle. Big flare skip at the end. We'll give him a nice lengthy birdie putt up the hill.
And no shortage of effort by Paul Ulibarri coming off of hole 1. And Avery, we're going to move down the fairway. We're going to notice a number of times today that we'll be playing across fairways here found on the golf course, often seeing baskets perched precariously. It's one of my big words of the day, perched precariously up on top of some of these hillsides. And or are they going to play a little bit more conservative and possibly lay them up? Because if you miss, you go up over one of these hillsides, you may be looking at a 30 or 40 or even a longer comeback.
Yeah, there's a longer course. Obviously, a golf course differentiating between a disc golf course, able to air it out a little more. And with this facility, they actually have a permanent 18-hole course where you're not going to put the basket in the middle of a golf fairway, you know, to coexist with golfers and disc golfers. And we do take some of the sides of the rough, some of the hills, and kind of make it interesting on the greens, using some of the bunkers as OB, and just try to make it, you know, a fun but challenging course. And this is everything and that. Par 59 on the Terex course.
And anytime you see a sand trap, it'll be more than likely played as a hazard, meaning they'll play it from where it comes to rest. However, there will be assessed a one-stroke penalty. Most of the golf greens, however, are played as more of a traditional OB, meaning if you land in the center of a golf green, you would go back to where it entered into the area and play with a one-stroke. So they're going to have a few things to navigate, as well as using all of the trees found out here at the Wild Horse course. Play a little skip up to that hillside basket.
Yeah, I actually posted a video this morning. It was Nate Sexton doing a little pro walkthrough on hole number 2 here, and he actually opted for the roller, and it's a very entertaining video. You guys got to check it out. A little forehand into the basket and get a valiant effort for the safe 3. It's definitely entertaining, as Sexton usually is.
Solid run by Wysocki. And looks like Eagle, although nearly pin high here, he's not going to have much of a look at least to run this. This is going to be a layup shot. And with stretching out to the right, he was able to give it a little more of a run than I thought. He had a low ceiling, and then it's on the far right on that putt.
Yeah, Eagle being a very aggressive player off the tee, but also around the putting green. I saw that hole in the tree, kind of had a nice clearing for a good visual and maybe a good run, and definitely stretching out below the tree and trying to get a valiant effort for it too. Eagle making the smart play, just laying it up there. You saw those other putts sail past the basket. You can see the flag moving a little bit. There's a little crosswind that could affect the putt in the air.
Solid putt by Wysocki. It sounds like his fan club is out here in full effect.
Yeah, Ricky's got such good velocity on his putt. He puts it up on line with the right height, and it's always got the right power to get to the basket and drive the chains.
And easy comeback there for Eagle McMahon. He's going to walk away with a 3. And Johnny McCray maintaining here. We're just gonna go straight wired. Gio, unplug that.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job. Go in.
Oh, for me, it's all about the exercise.
For me, it fits into my busy lifestyle.
For me, it's my passion.
For us, it doesn't cost much to play.
For me, it's fun.
Here we are on hole number 3, 386 feet, par 3, across the golf fairway. A very attackable hole, a very birdable hole. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Walking off the green of 385 feet, par 3 across the valley. And again, the basket perched up on a hillside. Very fast greens here. Got a couple players that do got some lengthy putts, looking at the danger of the uphill putting service. Got a good sized gallery out here today on an overcast Saturday. Ricky with a 2-stroke lead currently over McRae. McMahon 4 back. This is the first PDGA National Tour of the year for the National Tour Series. A lot of players, this is the home opener or the first tournament of the year for a lot of players, especially big events here at the end of February. But it's just nice to get out in the sunshine for most, getting some more moderate temperatures instead of being in the snow for a lot of the U.S.
Paul Ulibarri going to make sure he has his feet in place here. And almost a heroic skip shot up that hill, trying to make the best here of what looks to be an OB shot. Is that in fact correct? Over 6 feet 6 inches? Is that OB out here on this course?
It's all tournament director's discretion, I believe. I'm not sure if that's an effect of this tournament.
McRae also with a good run uphill. Eagle McMahon just a few feet closer than that.
A little correction on that. A 2-meter rule is in effect for this event.
Avery, that was right on line. I thought it was going in. It just came up a little bit short as he's throwing uphill.
It's one of those tentative putts, really with so much danger and so much drop off behind the basket. Didn't want to put too much speed on it, but gave it a good run.
And another birdie for Ricky Wysocki. And the rest of the group will tap in. We're going to move over to the next hole. Stay tuned. You're watching live third round action right here at the 2017 Gentlemen's Club Challenge presented by Innova Discs.
I don't care if nobody understands. I'll take the law into my own hands. I don't care if nobody understands. I'll take the law into my own hands. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say.
Hole number 4, 273 feet, par 3, one of the shortest holes on this course. I expect a lot of birdies here. Crazy visual right here as you see the planes coming in to land at McCarran only a few miles away. Professionals don't get shaken by that, and Eagle commences through with his routine and throws it slight left with a difficult putt uphill.
And a slightly different approach there by Paul Ulivery, going with something a little bit more overstable, playing almost a hyzer of sorts to attack that pin, coming in from right to left. Avery, you mentioned a few days ago, or a few holes ago, that when they were out here practicing for the last few days, it was incredibly windy, and we saw a little bit of that during the opening round on Thursday. But since then, the wind has been pretty much in check.
Yeah, it's been very mild winds, like I said, about 5 to 10. And this place is known for getting really windy. I've been in Vegas playing tournaments for over a decade, and I know on some days it's hit or miss, and see what the winds actually do pick up, and it drastically affects the scores out there. And today it's a slight overcast, barely any wind, and it's a scorer's paradise right now.
And coming up on this is a bunker that we didn't see from the tee. Looks like these guys have cleared it easily. And here's Avery with the rest of the call.
As you see, the shots that barely got over the bunker, front side, Yuli with that hyzer, and Ricky with a straight shot. Got Eagle backside in the bushes, looking at a very difficult uphill putt. Very fast green, as you can see. Unfortunately catches a branch of the pine about halfway through the putt, hits the cage and drops close. John McCurry giving a little more juice. Uphill putt, leaves it high off the band. Fortunately stays on the knoll, close to the basket. High left chain, hyzer, and out. As Terry mentioned before, these bunkers are OB, but they play as bunkers, so you actually have to play out of them and you don't get relief from them. So Ricky takes a royal eyes. Dead center and in as Ricky extends his lead to 4 with a back-to-back birdies on 3 and 4. As we move on to hole 5.
Flashflight LED disc golf discs just changed the game. The unique Disco Select feature allows everyone to choose their own color by simply pressing the middle button, then pressing it again during the first rotation of colors when the one you want appears. Or you can leave it in disco mode, rotating through the 6 different colors for the duration of your game. Designed by serious professionals, crafted from Night Eye's unrivaled sure grip material, and featuring Night Eye's patented fiber optics array, these discs strike the perfect balance of durability, stability, performance, and just plain awesomeness. With easily replaceable batteries and an uber-long life, the Flashflight driver, mid-range, and putter will shine as they blaze your path to victory, day or night. Night Eyes. Discover your solution.
Understands, I'll take the law into my own hands. I don't care if nobody understands, I'll take the law into my own hands. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say, no matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say, no matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
Hello everyone and welcome back as we are here on hole number 5, a par 3 465-foot hole. We see Turner, the young lefty from North Carolina. Who else do we have here on this chase card here, Avery?
Well, we have Pasi Koivu from Finland. He was in a lead card yesterday. And we have big Jeremy Colling, Austin Turner, as you just mentioned. And I'm unsure of the fourth, actually. I didn't research the fourth. I was researching the lead card.
Well, we'll see everyone putting out here in the next few moments. I believe
Nate
Paul
Sexton.
Macbeth is on the... Oh, Nate Sexton.
I see a beard over there, so it must be some older guy. Oh, it is Nate.
In the off-season, we heard of Nate Sexton's new addition that's going to be joining the Sexton family here shortly. You yourself have become a father in the last few years. Changes up the game plan a little bit when you're out there on tour as much as you have been.
Absolutely changes things, you know, as much as we love disc golf and the passion that drives us to play at every event and be out there on the road traveling as much as we do. It makes you come back a lot more often, and gone for a month at this point. I'm really missing my babies and you know, my wife, you know, at home taking care of my boy, and just I miss them dearly, and I know what Sexton's gonna be going through in the coming years.
All right, well, we're watching the second card clear off. We're going to see if we can catch back up with our leader card, who are going to be throwing directly at us. We've seen Ricky Wysocki with a few solid putts to get things going here today. And Wysocki is on the tee. Very drivable hole. Of course, they have to make sure they come up past the ball golf green, otherwise they're going to find themselves OB with a penalty. And Wysocki with a great drive, putting himself just left of the pin downhill. He'll have an uphill look at birdie from there. McRae giving it a little bit of a turn here, trying to get up and over this green. And that looks to be safe and on the left side.
Yeah, that looked like a great shot out of his hand. Nice flex. I was waiting for a little more turn, and I think he could have carried the green and at least got a chance at a putt for two.
From back on the tee, the players might feel a slight right to left wind pushing, as we saw both Wysocki and Johnny McRae's shots finish a little bit. Maybe taking that into account here. It looks like he's going to go with a forehand so he can fight that wind.
This is right in Eagles' wheelhouse, 465, going forehand. Got the power, get the distance. Finds himself down left side of the green. Should be in bounds, should be in play.
Ulibarri also with a great forehand. However, he's going to opt for the backhand. I'm not sure he's got enough power to get as far as he would like with that forehand, so he's going backhand shot here. He's going to put as much as he can on this. And he also fades off to the left. 4 safe shots. Really, it's tough to attack this hole for the birdie, too.
There's many of these baskets that you see through. We're on only hole 5 right now, but you see throughout the round, there's a lot of greens and a lot of bunkers that are going to play really close to these baskets.
As we get closer to the green here on hole number 5, we're looking off in a distance, seeing that the players over on the second card on the next hole seem to be just stalling, so to speak, at the tee. Talk a little bit about backups and how they affect players out here, even though, of course, we have professionals, but by the time you're, the second card or the last card of the day, if there's been any holdups on the course, they kind of all bottleneck and ultimately affect come through.
That's absolutely been the case the last 2 days playing the Disc Golf Values course and of a course yesterday. There's been a lot of backups just because there's been different features in design where there's a shorter hole leading into a more difficult, more demanding, maybe more OB kind of hole, and it's definitely caused a few backups throughout the round. I can remember 2 of them yesterday that's really contributed to us finishing late and almost not finishing in the light.
Well, Ulibarri is down below the basket. We're going to see a little forehand up and at it, and caught a little bit of that tree there, and I think that helped him out. As the round progresses, if we maybe need to catch up with any other cards, we're going to see where the hot action is, who's shooting well. Of course, we love bringing you the live leader card here. However, if we find someone making a charge on another card, we may be able to bounce around a little bit. Tomorrow we're going to be bringing you all of the shot-by-shot action. Lead card on the final round at this first National Tour event. Today we can alter up, change up that game plan a little bit if need be. Here's Johnny McRae. Pretty basic approach, a little bit of a jump putt. We'll see nearly the same exact effort here by Eagle McMahon. Ricky Wysocki, again, closest to the pin. He's assessing the slope near the basket, and he's in a really good position as opposed to the other card mates. It looks like he can give this a little bit more of a run. You have somewhat of a landing zone directly behind the basket if he chooses to go for this. And that. And Ricky gave it a run. We saw that get up and move just a little bit. However, he's going to have a short comebacker. McRae is in. Even Johnny McRae giving Ricky a little bit of a applause there for his par. And Johnny McRae also making sure everyone else in the card is getting their due props. We're going to see if we can catch up with the second card in just a few moments. We're moving over to hole 6 right here at the 2017 Gentlemen's Club Challenge.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
As we're watching the second card move off the tee of 6, update. Paul Macbeth making a pretty nice move right now. 3 down through 5, birdieing 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to watch throughout the round. Everything aside from first and second place, there's a pretty good bunch up on the scores, all within a stroke or two. And that's what we're looking for in the action, and that's spectator. Watching these close matches, these close rounds, and these players playing at the best abilities. Sitting on the tee of 6 right now. It's our first par 4 of the round. First 5 being par 3s, and now we're getting to the heart of the course. Some very difficult holes, long, a lot more challenge, a lot more difficult, a lot more OB. So it's understandable they do have a backup with a shorter par 3 leading into a longer par 4. Causing slight backup just with the second card, throwing their tee shots and kind of gathering their positions and next shots into the green. We got a slight breeze, maybe headwind, maybe slight right to left. Good for some of the big power throwers here, trying to get it way down the fairway. Other than that, temperatures are good, around mid 50s, high 50s, overcast. Just outside of the Vegas Strip. Terry had mentioned it's absolutely a media blitz this weekend. It's great to have Smashbox, Central Coast, and Spin TV working in collaboration, hosting and producing and bringing you all this coverage from the 2017 Gentlemen's Club Challenge presented by Innova Champion Discs. It's that kind of collaboration and cooperation with media groups that's going to make this sport the masses, and we thank everybody for joining us and checking us out today and witnessing some great disc golf. Got the lead card here as we move to the second card. Ricky currently with a 4-stroke lead over Johnny McRae through 5 holes in the third round. We're approaching the second card in the middle of the fairway of 6. Got Nate Sexton next to throw. Leaving it low left, get me stuck on a very difficult third. We're bringing up Nate Sexton's name last night as we were just trying to think about the most likable players out there, and he's absolutely one of those players. Good charisma, good outgoing person, a definite fan favorite. Posse Cuervo, the approach on 6, tailing off, right side pin high, maybe a little long. Maybe a little slip on the approach, possibly. A little misread, not too much wind, like I said. Big germ next to throw. Germ early slip out of his hand, leaving it low right side. He knew it as he released it that it wasn't going to not go exactly where he wanted to. But you'd still have a putt for a birdie 3. Walking up on the left side, we see Austin Turner. I guess he threw a big drive down there left side. Than everybody else in the group. He's a very far thrower. Austin Turner line up a forehand. He is a lefty thrower, so it lines up real nice. Got the distance, got the juice. Checks up on the hill. Good look from there. Great upshot from Austin. Lead group watching their approaches, and as the fairways opens up, lead car is going to tee it off. Ricky, big throw, getting the turn, getting the flex, and getting the skip, going center cut fairway. Johnny Mac on the fairway quite a bit. Should leave a nice open second shot. As we turn it around, Nate Sexton with a big birdie putt from the left side, just past the tree, about 45, 50 footer. Big jump putt. Got off the top of the belt and off. We'll skip down the hill. Look at Steve, but he's a great putter. Shouldn't make too much of a difference for him. After a big forehand shot, leaves him with a sizable 28-foot birdie putt. Concentrate, focus. Big Germ knocks it down for birdie on 6. As second card cleans up on hole 6, we're going to watch these tee shots by league card. And until then, we're going to throw it back to the studio, and we'll be right back.
I don't care if nobody understands. I'll take the law into my own hands. I don't care if nobody understands. I'll take the law into my own hands. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say.
You deserve an elite golf experience. Take an epic journey through the best landscapes Las Vegas has to offer. Experience 144 holes of spectacular golf at our 6 professionally designed championship courses, featuring Spanish Trail Country Club, Mountain Falls Golf Club, and Wild Horse Golf Club. Call about elite golf packages for locals and tourists. Elite Golf, the new face of golf management. Book your tee time today.
Flashlight LED disc golf discs just changed the game. The unique Disco Select feature allows everyone to choose their own color by simply pressing the middle button, then pressing it again during the first rotation of colors when the one you want appears. Or you can leave it in disco mode, rotating through the 6 different colors for the duration of your game. Designed by serious professionals, crafted from Night Eye's unrivaled sure grip material, and featuring Night Eye's patented fiber optics array, these discs strike the perfect balance of durability, stability, performance, and just plain awesomeness. With easily replaceable batteries and an uber-long life, the Flashlight driver, mid-range, and putter will shine as they blaze your path to victory, day or night. Night Eyes. Discover your solution.
Guys are just joining us. We're on hole number 6 with the lead card. Eagle just pitching out of the rough there after his first tee shot. This is the first par 4 of the round, 725 feet. A really nice, wide open, big fairway for these guys to really unleash it. Unfortunately, Eagle tailed his off a little bit to the right on the turnover. Got caught right side, had to pitch out. This is his third shot on its way. Forehand shot out wide left, catches that lone tree left side of the basket. We had our other players throw their approaches already. Ricky got a really nice tee shot, center cut. Johnny's a little farther back, and Eula should be up near where Eagle is right now. So both these guys walking up, they all have a chance at a birdie. Eagle had a chance for a par. Got a little congestion here as you see a bunch of groups kind of packed up on these tee pads. A little crossing point in the course.
And exactly as you're saying, Avery, we're seeing a few of the cards in front of us for the next few holes. We'll be back with you in a second right after Eagle's attempt here for par. And no problem for Eagle McMahon. A little bit of movement behind him, behind the basket. As you said, so much congestion. We just hope the gallery remains still. A great putt by Paul Ulibarri. Also, thanks to PDGALive.com, we're checking the scores, seeing that Paul McBeth has birdied 4 in a row. Seems as he said on his Facebook earlier today, he needs to make a move. He's doing just that. And Johnny McRae is in. Avery, we're going to move down the fairway. We're going to catch up with a few of the second and third cards, simply so we can bring you guys more action. We're going to be back with you in just a few moments after a word from our sponsors. We'll see what's going on the chase and third card right here at the 2017 Gentlemen's Club Challenge.
You deserve an elite golf experience. Take an epic journey through the best landscapes Las Vegas has to offer. Experience 144 holes of spectacular golf at our 6 professionally designed championship courses, featuring Spanish Trail Country Club, Mountain Falls Golf Club, and Wild Horse Golf Club. Call about elite golf packages for locals and tourists. Elite Golf, the new face of golf management. Book your tee time today.
And welcome back. We are here with the chase card. This is the hole number 7, Avery. We've got Austin Turner. He's going to be throwing from the drop zone here in just a moment. Austin asking his caddy if there's a distance on the drop zone, and there is not one indicated.
It looks to be about 150, maybe 165 feet, so not a very far shot, a little chip shot up there. As he leaves it short left side, should be a very makeable putt for him to say 4.
And Avery, we must let all the viewers know there was a little congestion and also a little bit of traffic control that was taking place up here. Hole 7 actually is just past hole 8's teeing area, so we were trying to get figured out. We see Paul McBeth and the third card, in fact, on hole number 8. They'll be teeing in a few moments when they're clear, but you essentially have to walk over 8 to get to 7 first. And so that's why we're seeing the second card here on hole 7.
News just in as Paul McBeth was birdieing 4 straight, took a bogey on 7, and drops back to 3. Still in the hunt, still in the charge, currently in 3rd place.
And it looks as if Pasi Koivu has found himself OB. He's also moving to the drop zone. He's going to be throwing his 3rd shot. forehand action. Could this find the basket?
Short left side does get the roll, and a little spin out should be an easy tap in for 4. Very unfortunate. He actually thought he was inbounds on the tee shot. They went to go check it out, and I guess it was a real close call, so he came back to the drop zone and threw his 3rd.
Nate Sexton with a birdie opportunity here on hole 7. And a rare miss from inside the circle by Nate Sexton.
Big Jeremy Cohen also lining up a birdie putt here. Looking to be about 18, maybe 20 feet. A good stroke, solid center chains, and in for the birdie.
And as I said, with the congestion on both the tees of 7 and 8, you will see probably a number of players throwing in all different directions here. We're going to be moving over to the tee in a few moments as we watch the second card clear off on hole number 7. Pasi Koivu is going to be cleaning up for his bogey 4. And just behind me as Pasi's putting out, we see Kale Leviska throwing his drive. And we'll get in position. We're going to be back with you in a few moments with the tees from both 7 and 8 right here at the Gentlemen's Club Challenge.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job. Go in. Oh.
For me, it's all about the exercise.
For me, it fits into my busy lifestyle.
For me, it's my passion.
For us, it doesn't cost much to play.
For me, it's fun.
Here we are on hole number 7, 310 feet, an island green. Ricky Wysocki opting for the forehand shot, just laying it nice in the center. Safely inbounds. John McCrae hanging it out there, but hanging it left side. Should be safe. No indication just yet, but should be safe. A lot farther left than he expected. Yuli getting a little read from that last hyzer, taking a little wider to the right. Getting a little headwind on the tee. The flag on the basket's not moving, but we got a lot of headwind up here on the tee. That may have affected that shot. Still waiting on the call. Eagle McMahon, big forehand shot, hanging it out left, bringing it back to the basket and sticking it within 5 feet. 2 forehands, 2 backhands, trying to read this wind and trying to put it on the island green. Eagle successfully does that and sticks it. Now we got a questionable call on Ulibarri. He did hang it out wide right side, and I'm not sure if that came back into the island. Going right to the drop zone with this one.
Looked like I stopped before that. That one's in, Fred.
And Johnny McRae relying a little bit here on some volunteer, or should I say some of the crowd that's out there taking in the action. We're trying to clarify. Looks like we hear that Johnny McRae may even be on the OB line itself. And Ricky Wysocki is going to be first to pot. And it's inside 100, so naturally Ricky draws some metal.
Yeah, I was kind of uncertain there why Ulibarri was just, almost thinking his was OB right off the bat. Not very optimistic on his shot, definitely leaving it wide right, but he just automatically thought it was OB, went to the drop zone, and fortunately for him, it is inbounds.
And anytime you find yourself near OB, you're able to bring yourself up to 1 meter from it, as Johnny McRae is doing just that. And this step putt attempt is just a bit high. He was throwing a little bit of a downhill. I mean, only just by a matter of inches there. Maybe a little too much adjustment for that. And same result by Paul Ulibarri. The loft Anheuser putt not able to drop.
I don't know if you guys actually see this though, but the depth of this basket on this island fairway, or green you might call it, it's within 10 feet. It's very close to the back edge of the OB, and Eagle playing aggressive and it paying off for the drop-in birdie on hole number 7.
Yuli will be tapping in as our competitors move back to hole 8. We're going to see if we can find some more action here. The sole birdie by Eagle McMahon. We'll be back with you in a few moments. Stay tuned. You're watching the 2017 Gentlemen's Club Challenge, presented by Innova Discs. Welcome back, everyone. We are here with the second card, Big Germ, asking us to do a little bit of his work along with the work on the course. He's on the tee here on hole number 8. I think Big Germ's got all of 300 on this as it flexes out. And that's finishing left. He's waiting for an applause. Is he going to get it?
With that shot, it's worthy of applause. There's a green halfway down the fairway here, and he's really trying to get over the top of that, and I believe he did with that more than 300-plus attempt.
Next to tee is the bearded Nate Sexton.
Sexton taking a little off that shot just to make sure that first tee shot's inbounds as he tails off the left side of the fairway. He should leave him an open second shot.
And Big Germ's touring partner, Austin Turner here, the lefty, bailing out to the right-hand side of the fairway. A great forehand that comes up short of the OB green. We're going to stick with the second card for a little bit. We're going to follow them down the fairway. And in the meantime, Avery Jenkins is going to give us a little bit of a scoring update as we're checking out pdgalive.com.
If you guys following us, definitely check out that website. We've been bouncing around between the third, the second, the first cards. If you want to see all live scoring throughout the entire tournament, pdjlive.com. As I'm looking at it, I want to see make a little shout out to Preston Johnson from Arizona. Currently hot round right now at 4 under par through 8 holes. So he's making a good move. Birdied half of them throughout the start of this round. Current leader, Ricky Wysocki, 2 down through the round, puts him at 19 under with a 4-stroke lead over Johnny McRae. Paul Macbeth making a charge right now off the third card. Currently 3 down for the round, 5 strokes back of the lead. Kayla Viska 3 down at 13. That rounds out your top 4. These guys, this is moving day. It's Saturday, and they're all trying to make a charge.
And Avery, we're seeing all the players assess where they landed and what their approach shots are going to be. Austin Turner certainly getting ready for this season this year. I think since I saw him at one point last year, he's put on about 30 pounds of raw muscle. Was that your game plan all those years ago?
Yeah, you try to beef up, try to put on a little poundage, especially trying to get a little more strength. Strength adds a distance and power. And if you get that down, everything else is pretty easy, approaching and putting. So once you get the distance down, you can work on everything else later.
And Nate Sexton is taking a look at his live, but maybe Austin's going to be out first. We're going to see if he will be throwing his approach first here in the group. It looks like he will be.
Austin Turner being the tour rookie this year, traveling with Big Germ. It's going to be quite an experience and adventure throughout the season.
Austin on the left side of the pin with his approach. This will be Pasi Koivu. Good looking approach there. Nate Sexton will be throwing third.
Nate Sexton using those ultimate skills that he knows so well. Nice touchy forehand approach, leaving it low, getting over that first rise and skipping it by the basket.
And with Big Germ still walking and yet to get to his disc here, you can tell that he's put more than enough power on this drive to be able to drive it. The question is, did he go too far? And I believe he's in fact actually gone past the basket. He's going to be putting back at this with not much of a look. And he was able to split the low-hanging branches here. There's actually a branch that's in front of the basket. It shouldn't affect any of the putts with this group, but it certainly could if you're wide right of this pin.
Posse makes good from about 25 downhill, looking at death putt, and drills it dead center. All these players making easy work of this relatively short par 4, just under 600 feet. Dropping in their threes.
And Nate Sexton cleans up. We're going to stick with this card. We're going to have a short walk. We should be back with you in about 30 to 60 seconds right here at the Gentlemen's Club Challenge presented by Innova.
Big Germ making their recent switch to Innova, throwing all new discs here. Trying some new distance drivers, going with a Pro Boss on that shot. Gets a nice good turn with good speed, trying to get the carry. Left a little low, but he's down there in bounds. Nate Sexton letting that one get away from him. May have caught a late tree and does kick him back into the center cut of the fairway. Wow.
I've seen Nate throw some trick rollers before, but that was a really special one.
There's my touring partner, Austin Turner from Charlotte, North Carolina. He's got smooth power, and he's a name you're going to hear about this coming season. You've already heard about him in this tournament. I mean, he's an up-and-coming kid. He's got a ton of potential, and he's got a ton of raw talent. So once he starts learning how to as I was saying, once he learns how to finish an event, I mean, he's going to be...
You mean all 4 rounds?
All 4 rounds. I mean, and he does. He had a big A-tier win last year against Ken Climo in Florida at the Throwdown the Mountain. And so, I mean, that's something that very, very few people have ever done is beat Ken Climo in Florida. So everyone on the East Coast knows who he is, and very shortly, I think he's going to be a household name in the sport. He's not easily flappable. So, he's got a pretty strong mental game, and he's a lot of fun too. So when people meet him, they're going to enjoy hanging out with him too. So he's got the whole package.
How long before he's out driving you, Big Germ?
A long time. No, he actually he hangs it there with me, and he doesn't look like he's throwing it as hard as I do too. So he's got that smooth power that really helps him out. So he'll be out driving me when I'm like 35 and he's 23.
So soon, huh?
Not too far off, they say. Well, some insights here from Big Germ on this chase card as we move down the fairway. I believe we're on hole 9, about halfway through the round. In a few moments, we'll bring you a little bit more on these scoring updates, thanks to PDGALive.com.
Nate Sexton's second shot on hole number 9. Big forehand shot with the Oregon State disc and slightly short. There's 840 feet from the tee, par 4. We just played a 597-foot par 4. Now there's 840. So they're stretching out the distance pretty good on these, especially depending on the par. Tough pin location here with the pin tucked tight to the right side. Players, depends how risky they want to get. You see Nate Sexton going forehand, possibly going backhand just to bring it back inside and keep it in bounds, but really depends on how aggressive you want to play and how bad you want to get that birdie 3. And I think we're going to see a couple clean shots right here. We got Austin and Big Germ in attack mode. Great play, hanging it out wide left, being the lefty, bringing it back to the right. That should line up a nice look at a birdie.
And a bread and butter forehand shot expected here by Big Germ. Not only is it his favorite, but it's also much safer.
You're exactly right on that call. Right in his wheelhouse, a nice comfortable shot to the basket with a forehand. Got good distance off the tee. Should be a tap in for a 3.
And also thanks to PDGALive.com, we're seeing Kale Laviska and Jeremy Colling are also now tied with Paul McBeth at 14 under par.
Hey Terry, what's that glowing ball in the sky?
Well, let's just hope that it stays up there long enough. As yesterday we saw as the round completed at the Innova course, they got in, well, we almost had to change the cameras over to night vision just for that final hole or two. Seems like everything's flowing along quite nicely for us here today. Let's hope we have good weather and good sunlight for the next day and a half.
Pasa with a valiant effort leaves it wide right and low. Wind kind of picked up on him a little bit in the last second.
Austin assessing just what kind of landing zone he has if he were to not make it into the basket here. He's got a little bit of room behind the pin.
Rookie makes good from about 25, 28 feet into the headwind. Death putt, no problem for the kid, unshakable.
And Nate Sexton off in a distance can hear Nico LaCastro and the rest of his group discussing where Nico may or may not have went out of bounds on his fairway. Nico rocking a very unique hat here today. Posse will be tapping in for his par. And he is in. We are halfway through this round. We're glad you guys could join us. We'll be back with you in a few moments after a word from our sponsors right here at the 2017 Gentlemen's Club Challenge.
deserve an elite golf experience. Take an epic journey through the best landscapes Las Vegas has to offer. Experience 144 holes of spectacular golf at our 6 professionally designed championship courses, featuring Spanish Trail Country Club, Mountain Falls Golf Club, and Wild Horse Golf Club. Call about elite golf packages for locals and tourists. Elite Golf, the new face of golf management. Book your tee time today.
I don't care if nobody understands. I'll take the law into my own hands. I don't care if nobody understands. I'll take the law into my own hands. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say.
And welcome back, everyone, to hole number 10. We have caught up with what seems to be the third and fourth card. The third card is on the tee waiting to throw. Nico LaCastro from off in a distance, approximately 450 feet away. We see Nico had hit off the front of the basket and then a rollback on his putt. And he's going to be putting at that one again.
Yeah, pretty difficult hole. 450, par 3, water down the entire right side, and of course the basket is on top of a little grassy knoll. So it always adds difficulty to the putt, and really trying to attack it with a drive that's really blocked off on the hyzer line with a right-handed backhand with a lot of trees near the basket.
Again, you're seeing some action from the fourth card. We also see in purple AJ Risley. AJ having a great start to the season, coming out last weekend at the Wintertime Open, the 39th annual Wintertime Open, placing in third at that event and coming out with a solid opening 2 rounds here at the Gentlemen's Club. A moment ago, we saw Cale Leviska walk by here on the tee as our group will be getting ready once the fourth card clears out. See Bobby Musick along with Paul Macbeth as well. And we'll be ready here in a few moments. 453 feet. I hope you guys are enjoying all the action. Of course, we'll be here tomorrow as well for the conclusion here of the Gentlemen's Club. And we'll be ready in just a few moments.
I'm a peanut kind of exclusive nut guy. Maybe macadamia nuts with cookies.
Big germ, a big peanut guy, he's telling us. Do you like salty nut snacks?
Yeah, like the big, the good cut. You know, the big salty nut snacks. Keep me hungry.
I figured they would.
Yep.
All right.
So they have that up there.
Can you try it on, please, right now? You get too much deer in here.
We are live. Ready to go with Cale Leviska on the tee. And that is flexing over nicely here as Cale has cleared the green. And easily driving the green here is Bobby Music up and over. Paul Macbeth, third to tee.
Paul Macbeth going hyzer line with a Thunderbird and gets beat on that tree. Hits that first initial pine, trying to break on the inside left to at least get a line on it. Unfortunately, catches the tree coming in on the hyzer line.
And with a nearly identical line, we see Anthony Barella going at it. His comes in a little lower, but hits the trunk of the tree. I'm not sure if these guys threw 100 more shots, they could both intentionally hit that tree if they wanted to. However, they're going to be up there looking at long putts for the birdie opportunities. Again, on our card, we have Cale Leviska, Anthony Barella, Paul Macbeth, and Bobby Music. Pretty star-studded cast that you wouldn't necessarily assume to find on the third card typically.
No, not typically, but with a field this stacked, third, second, and first cards all have world-class players, and it's really a matter of a stroke or two differentiating all of these positions. Ricky Wysocki now making a big surge. He's still got that 4-stroke lead as he's continuing to separate him and Johnny from the rest of the pack. If you guys are following the live scoring, pdjlive.com for all live scores throughout the entire top half of the field. And yeah, as you're watching, Paul and Macbeth making a pretty good move right here. Cale Leviska, Jeremy Colling, they're all on the hunt, and really it's moving day, and they're all trying to make that lead card going into Sunday.
And of course, none of these players that we're finding on the top couple of cards are in any real threat of not making a cut, but there is a cut to mention for tomorrow. Approximately 50% of the field, well, they're just going to have to make the most of it on the Vegas Strip tonight because they won't be here tomorrow.
Is there anything to do around here?
I'm going to look really hard. A great line there by Cale Leviska. Sits down. He just about able to run that one down, a little bit short.
Wow, Bobby online, almost a identical object he had to miss over the top of that pine as Cale on the previous putt. A little more juice, a little more height, he might have had a chance to knock that one down. Paul Macbeth next to putt. Got a few trees around the basket, got a low-hanging tree he's got to navigate either around or through. A trick putting in. I'm not sure if he called that or not, but definitely in the chains in the basket for 2 on hole number 10. Anthony Barella maybe looking at the same line. I hope he does call the kick off the branches if he's intending to do that route. Through the leaves, through the branches, chained off left side with good velocity. Paul Macbeth with the lone birdie on hole 10.
Paul Macbeth has indicated he wants everyone else to come look at his lie. It was that magical of a shot. Unfortunately, we don't have the same perspective as danced around on Kale a little bit, but I think he's even impressed with the shot. He's going to mark it so he can tell others exactly where that was and how amazing of a putt that was. Maybe we'll get him to tell us about it. He's grinning from ear to ear.
Was that wide open?
Yeah, tell us about it, Paul. What's going on over there? We see you grinning from ear to ear.
You gotta go look at that one.
We got to go look at it, he says. Well, we're going to see that on a replay a little bit later, but nice putt by Paul Macbeth for the 2. And we're going to be back with this card in just a few moments.
Flashlight LED disc golf discs just changed the game. The unique Disco Select feature allows everyone to choose their own color by simply pressing the middle button, then pressing it again during the first rotation of colors when the one you want appears. Or you can leave it in disco mode, rotating through the 6 different colors for the duration of your game. Designed by serious professionals, crafted from Night Eye's unrivaled sure grip material, and featuring Night Eye's patented fiber optics array, these discs strike the perfect balance of durability, stability, performance, and just plain awesomeness. With easily replaceable batteries and an uber-long life, the Flash Flight driver, mid-range, and putter will shine as they blaze your path to victory, day or night. Night Eyes. Discover your solution.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job. Go in. Oh.
For me, it's all about the exercise.
For me, it fits into my busy lifestyle.
For me, it's my passion.
For us, it doesn't cost much to play.
For me, it's fun.
Here on hole number 11, 832 feet, par 4. As you guys just saw on hole number 10, Paul McBeth putting through the middle of a tree and knocking down the birdie to move him to 4 down for the round. One of the hot rounds today. There's been a lot of 4 downs, a lot of 3 downs. I mentioned before, Ricky taking off right now. Pretty good spread. He's a 4-stroke lead over Johnny McRae. And then at that point, I think third is 6 back. So Ricky put on a pretty good move right now and sustaining his lead and playing some solid golf out here. We're about halfway through the round with the lead card, second card, as we're sitting with a third card at hole number 11.
We see Nico LaCastro throwing his second shot. He may have stopped by Binion's to pick up that hat. I'm not sure where you have to pick up one of those Vegas-style hats, but he's out here rocking it. Yesterday we saw during the round, he started out a little bit slow, a little bit shaky with his putting. He was on the lead card, and then by the end of the round he had picked it back up, so he kept it together. But he's out here grinding away right now, and as you said, we're seeing a couple of people try and pull away right now, and if the rest of these cards don't keep up, this may be a 2 or 3 horse race. That may be the end of it by tomorrow.
It's definitely shaping up for that. This is moving day, and everybody's looking to make a charge to make that final round lead card. A lot of great players here. It's stacked. It's a nearly 600 participant field, obviously spread out between multiple divisions. I believe they have close to 160 Pro Open men's players here, and close to almost 40 women's Pro Open players. So impressive turnout for the first big tournament of the year at our first PDJ National Tour of 2017.
And Avery, as we are watching this card move on down the fairway, our fourth card, I'm going to give you a little bit of update on the women's side, where we currently see Paige Pierce out with a sizable lead. She has an 8-stroke advantage over Jennifer Allen, and then in a 12-stroke lead and 13-stroke lead as well over third and fourth. We're going to have Paul McBeth here on the tee in just a few moments, but seeing Paige Pierce continue the tear that she opened up with at the Aussie Open. Paul McBeth going with a roller. Seems like it's heading right a little quicker than he was hoping for.
Yeah, he stood it up a little tall, a little fast, and did go through the bunker and then cut roll out of the bunker to the right side, so it has a good chance of being in bounds still.
Hoping that would drift a little bit right. However, he's going to find himself in the center of the fairway. He should have no problems from there. Third to tee, Bobby Music.
Bobby Music, known for being a long thrower, takes a little bit off it just to get the accurate shot down the middle. Fourth to tee, Anthony Barella. If you haven't seen this kid throw yet, prepare to witness.
Barella making maybe a little adjustment after seeing McBeth's.
Yeah, he got a big rip on that, a lot of velocity. Stood up a little tall, a little fast, and does tail off to the right side past the bunker. We're going to see if that's in bounds or not.
Both Barella and McBeth could have put a little bit more angle on that before that got up and turned over on them. Going to be flirting with that OB on the right-hand side. Some people have accused Anthony Barella of being a little bit of a mini McBeth. Well, that was before he went through this growth spurt just a few years ago, but has some of the similar mannerisms, and as we've seen him play in the past, someone had challenged and said, yeah, that's great. You look to be like a mini McBeth, and he said, well, what's wrong with that? He said if it works for Paul, there's no reason to not emulate or copy some of his mannerisms, and here they are both on the same card during the third day of a national tour event.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to watch, and he might actually be the height of what Paul might be when he grows up. So it's good to see, you know, the mentor and the prodigy playing together, and we'll see if the student becomes a teacher.
As you mentioned, Avery, this hole measuring in at 832 feet, and it even plays slightly around a bend. We're going to be moving up toward the clubhouse where everything originated in the next few holes. And Avery, I gotta say, I feel like the premium is here on this left side of the fairway. Left center, left, or left center. This seems like you're gonna have a little bit easier time to attack the pin versus where Macbeth and Barella are.
Yeah, as this hole, you see it dog legs to the right, and you're really trying to get center cut, and like you said, maybe right of center to, if you're a backhand hyzer thrower, try to line up a good approach second shot. You need 200, you know, you need 400 plus shots to reach the basket and maybe get an attempt at a birdie 3. But these are all longer throwers and good position from here.
And Bobby going with a left to right turnover, looking for a little bit more turn on that. That faded out on him. We'll see if Cale can make an adjustment from that.
This is requiring a big second shot. It's a slight uphill second part of the fairway here. Cale putting it down there, getting in the middle, just looking to pitch up from here to get up and down for the par. We're going to see where Paul and Anthony actually finished out. A little tougher position, tucked tight to the right, maybe a few trees to navigate. It's really going to be hard to get up and down there. Let's check it out.
I'm guessing we're going to see a pair of forehands here with this angle, and Paul as good as they get when it comes to the forehand department. It'll just be a matter if he's got enough distance to get it there. And Paul is really challenged here by this tree that's on the right side. He's debating if he wants to go right or left of it. He's going to opt for the awkward stance, pushing with his back leg behind him. Talk about the power needed to throw that shot.
Yeah, it's a tough position, a tough stance. Straddle out to the left, out of position, trying to throw a forehand shot. That's all core at that point. Core and upper body to really muscle that shot out there and get the shot down the fairway. Executed fairly well, and it should give him a clean line and a third shot to the pin.
You talk about core. I usually pack along a little extra core with me, and I'm not sure I've got that kind of power.
That keeps you warm in the winter, though.
It sure does. Here's Barella throwing a forehand as well. He's got a little easier run up, though.
So what Anthony Barella might lack in upper body strength, he's got a lot of length and a lot of whip with that shot. So he's got long arms, long levers, and throws a little tight inside, catches a late tree, but gets a fortunate roll back to the fairway left.
Very mild and moderate day out here as we are in the weekend here at the Gentlemen's Club Challenge just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. I believe we are in Henderson, Nevada right now, taking all in no more than 15 to 20 minutes from the Vegas Strip. And Avery, when's the last time you were out in this weather and had this little wind playing in Las Vegas?
It's true. It's true. You got a nice overcast here, sitting mid-50s. Little to no wind, And yeah, it's beautiful scoring conditions for these players out here today.
We see virtually no movement on that flag as Anthony Barella jump putts to within 3 feet of the pin. And as we approach the pin, I believe we see Paul McBeth's drive on from his second shot within 5 feet of the pin. He's going to have a drop-in birdie. This is Bobby Music from just shy of 70 feet. And front rim by Bobby Music, again, just inside 70 feet. Cale's going to be about the same distance, maybe 55 or 60 feet here. And also just a bit short on that effort. He thought he had it, Avery.
That was beautiful form, good extension on the release, and it's quite a distance there. It was about 50, 55 feet, so that would have been a really big bonus birdie for Cale to hit right there.
Cale and the rest of the group will be tapping in. Paul McBeth will likely go last here to tap in for an easy 3, while his other 3 card mates will have to settle for par 4s. Doesn't get played any better than what Paul McBeth did.
Yeah, initially thought he was out of position with that first tee shot, getting a good kick out of the bunker on the roller, and I thought he pulled it a little tight to the inside right, and you can't doubt the champ as he flashes the ring and knocks down a birdie on hole number 11.
Well, there you have it. We are through 11 holes. That is our 3rd card. Paul McBeth doing what he does. He said on Facebook this morning, it's moving day, and he's trying to do just that. Avery, I don't know if this story's creepy or just awkward, but last night I had a dream that I beat Paul McBeth in a tournament. We had 4 holes to go, and I took him down. I wished him better luck today because I should not be beating him, and today he's proving just that.
Is that the first time you had this dream?
Surprisingly enough, it is. We'll be back with you on the next hole. Stay tuned. We got more of Paul McBeth right here on Spin TV, along with Smashbox. And welcome back as we are here on hole number 12, watching the group in front of us clear out. And with that birdie, Paul McBeth goes to 5 under par for the round, which is exactly which Ricky Wysocki and Jeremy Colling are at, is 5 under for the round. They'll be ready to tee here in just a few moments on hole number 12, 396 feet. Macbeth hoping it will finish or stay on the right side. However, that falls toward the left hillside. And Kale playing the flex driver here. We'll have to see where that finishes.
Yeah, one thing you can't see right now, there's a green, that's a golf green that's short right of the basket, 400 feet, hole number 12, par 3. It's something they really got to avoid.
Get in there. Get in there.
That comes up short but safe.
A beautiful flex shot by Barella, flexing it out to the right side, bringing it back left. That should be at least pin high on the 400-foot par 3.
As we move into the later third of the course, we'd like to thank you guys all for tuning in today. Excited to bring you action from tomorrow's round, which will be played at the Innova course. We'd like to thank all of our event sponsors as well as our broadcast sponsors and supporters, namely the PDGA, the Professional Disc Golf Association. Please go out and become a member today if you are not already. That is pdga.com. Also like to thank Central Coast Disc Golf, Spin TV, and Smashbox TV, bring you the media collaborative effort taking place this weekend for this PDGA National Tour opening event.
Yeah, it's probably me. I'll go.
And Kale going with the layup to a few feet short of the pin. Smart play. And we'll continue, Avery, to keep an eye on this scoring. Glad to bring you this action here from the third card as Paul Macbeth is shooting well, along with the rest of the group. And Kale Laviska, and if we need to, as you mentioned, we could back on over to Jeremy Coling or any of the other cards that are shooting well. Glad to bring you some action from around the course today. Everything should settle up nicely by the time we get to our final round tomorrow, right here at the Wild Horse Golf Club. And Paul Macbeth, with a gentle touch, up and over, puts in for the birdie, too. And Anthony Barella looking at a death putt, but he is center chain, no problems. Bobby Music will tap in for the 3, as will Kale LaVisca. We're going to stick with this card. They're shooting hot. Avery, could you ask for any more here?
Wow, this is what we came to see and we came to expect from Paul Macbeth. You know, it's a little early in the season at this point, but he's at 6 down through 11 holes, and you hit it right on the head with that putt right there. It wasn't like a dagger. It wasn't have a lot of velocity. It had a good touch from 45, 50 feet down the hill, over the rim, and in for 2. Beautiful thing to watch.
All right, we're going to move on to the next hole. We'll be back with you in a few moments right here on Smashbox TV.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job. Go in. Oh.
For me, it's all about the exercise.
For me, it fits into my busy lifestyle.
For me, it's my passion.
For us, it doesn't cost much to play.
For me, it's fun.
We're at hole number 13, a relatively short hole from what we've seen in the previous holes. Par 3, only danger is where everything to the left is out of bounds and it really bottlenecks as you get close to the basket.
Barella going higher with his approach. And it looks like that's checking up nicely. Gets a clap from the gallery here. He's safe. And a great effort there by Kale.
Nice little check and roll by the basket.
And the crowd's pushing for that to get to the left. Bobby's going to need it, and it gets hung up.
All players opting for driver on the short par 3, 300 feet. The shot is over the trees with a spike hyzer, just trying to stick it on this very slim peninsula fairway.
Nice sized gallery out here following along. I've also checked in with Hannah Croak, who has informed me she is still leading her division. I saw that she was out to a sizable lead moving into the third round. She's extended that lead to 15 strokes, in fact. So Hannah is getting her feet wet here in the tournament scene. She's been playing for a couple of years, and looks like today she has distanced herself even further. Let's see if she can finish that off tomorrow. Bobby Music is going to be first to putt here on this very small green, as Avery mentioned. And Bobby Music from just off the Vegas Strip, way downtown here. Solid birdie by Bobby. Macbeth is going to find himself just about at circle's edge here for his birdie opportunity. And Macbeth, what did we see there with the footing? He went with a straddle putt. Was that just because of the somewhat awkward footing here with the peat gravel?
Yeah, it was definitely a little side hill with the gravel. I think he gets a little more power, a little more set up doing a straddle.
And in easily again, Bobby Music starting things off here for the star frame. Cale Leviscas within 12 feet for the easy birdie. And no problems. 4 for 4 here on hole number 12. We'll be back with you in a few moments right here at the Gentlemen's Club Challenge. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, along with Avery Jenkins. We are seeing the card clear out. We're going to be bringing you plenty of action here. We're watching Paul McBeth along with Cale Leviska, Bobby Music, Anthony Barella. We're going to also be able to backtrack a little bit and bring in some of the other cards as they wrap up here tonight. Avery, what are we looking at for the scores right now? Because there's sweet action everywhere.
Yeah, no, right now Ricky Wysocki holding on and maintaining a 4-stroke lead. Paul McBeth sneaking into second place at 18 under par, currently 7 under and birdie the last 3 in a row. The spread on that, Eagle McMahon 4 down for the round, 1 stroke back of Paul at 17 under, and rounding up top 4, Jeremy Coling shooting 5 down for the round at 16 under. So lead card kind of getting in position. We got 5 holes left with the third card and several for the second and first card. So a lot of action happening out here, a lot of change of position. This is moving day, and that's the quintessential explanation and concept of moving day. Everybody's making their move. Everybody's trying to get in position for that last round. So it's great to see the charge. We're going to a bunch of birdie holes right now and looking for some huge scores to come in. Paul's at 7 right now, 5 to go. About to see what happens.
All right. Well, as we said, plenty of sweet action. We're going to be able to follow these guys for a few more holes, depending on how the signal and everything else goes for us. We may back up and get some more of the action. We're spreading the love around today intentionally. Tomorrow we're going to give you shot-by-shot coverage of the lead card. Today we're able to spread things out and let everybody know what's going on here at the first event of the PDGA National Tour Series here in 2017. Avery, we're going to step aside. Looks like these guys are just about ready. Stay tuned for some more action right here on Spin TV. And Avery, we can go ahead and set up this shot for everyone. This is just 315, slightly downhill. Little OB to contend with?
Yeah, it's a slim fairway, but nothing too much for these professionals. It's a par 3, standard downhill hyzer. I see Paul going driver again. I'm thinking Thunderbird possibly, but it's a pretty standard hole. I see many birdies to come.
All right, it finishes to the left. Paul McBeth on the tee after 3 consecutive birdies. Seemed to be a good angle, but from what I could see, it looked like that might have been a little light, a little short maybe.
AB on the tee, stepping up with a Firebird. He's a big thrower, a big power thrower. I expect him to go over the top, wide right, and bring it in on a spike.
And Anthony Barella just left of the pin after seeing Paul McBeth actually landing near the basket on his tee shot. Cale Leviska waiting for Simon Lizotte in adjacent fairway to throw his different strategy here, a little bit lower.
Yeah, Cale going more conventional route, I believe a mid-range, and that's what he perfects the best of all players that I've seen in a while. He's a very good wooded player, and he threw the mid-range nice and low on a good angle, not a lot of speed, and puts it right next to the basket.
And Bobby going with the route that we just saw by Cale Leviska. And it seems like it might be just a bit short. Avery, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move down this fairway. And what we'll be doing is following this group, and we'll also keep an eye on the second card and the first card as they're going to be coming up on the previous holes. We may be jockeying back and forth. Just on our left-hand side, running parallel to hole 14's tee, is 18's relatively long shot. We saw Simon Lizotte throwing his approach a few moments ago. So we may be able to bounce around as we bring in the final few cards here today. And from what we can tell right now, it doesn't look like we'll be fighting the daylight like they were last night, but we still have 4 or 5 holes to go.
No, they're on a good pace right now, a pretty good clip, and we're not seeing too much sun, but it's bright enough to play in right now. Like we said earlier, winds are mild, temperature mid-50s, and plenty of daylight to finish this round. music, a little straight out to the right forehand shot with a little speed. He was concerned with maybe going a little long. He's in position to knock down that easy par putt.
And Macbeth doesn't have a tree to play that one off like he did a few holes ago. He could have used a little bit of a help or some kick in from there. And in and out around the pole, used a little bit of chains, and at one point hit the bottom of the basket, but just didn't want to stay in. And right now we're watching Cale Laviska pace off his steps to see if he's in or outside the 10-meter circle.
A little wide right, barely missing. Shane definitely shadowed it. All players on this card, I thought they had it dialed, but maybe took it for granted for the 315 slight downhill, all coming up short.
And Macbeth is in for the par. As you mentioned, Avery, 4 open caliber players certainly disappointed walking away with 3s here on a relatively short downhill hyzer shot. Yes, it is a little bit of a postage stamp green here, but they all were looking for birdie 2s here. And Cale is in. And what we may do is a little bit of separation here. I think what we're going to have is both Avery and I are going to stay right here on this hole. We'll see if we can catch the shots coming in. We'll also move another camera over to the next hole. We'll see maybe if we can catch action from the next 2 holes back and forth, and we'll see what's happening here in the final few groups. We'll be back with you in a few moments. Stay tuned. You're watching Live Disc Golf right here with Spin TV and Smashbox. And welcome back, everyone. Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, along with Avery Jenkins. And Avery, we're still here on hole 14. We were following along with the card just a few moments ago. However, we've peeled off. I think Paul Macbeth and the rest of the card took pars, and we're like, we're out of here. We've had enough of that.
Yeah, there's enough to see here. We're going to move on to the second card here. Jeremy Coling, 7 down through the last 10 holes, and absolutely parks it. Hits the pole, hits the bottom of the basket, parked on hole number 14. Like I said, 7 in the last 10 holes, on a pretty good tear right now. Sitting still 5 back of the lead, 1 back of second, sitting in tied for third with Johnny McRae.
All right, it looks like if that first shot was any indicator, we may have made the right move here as Big Germ puts himself just 3 feet from the pin. Austin Turner goes with the lefty forehand approach, and he comes up short. Pasi Koivu, who we saw a few holes back. Pasi comes over from Finland and compete. Is that correct, Avery? Have you played against him somewhere else on another part of the world, perhaps?
Yeah, I played with him several times over Europe. He hangs out in Finland a lot of times. Finland, Sweden, Czech Republic. Phenomenal player. One of the best in Europe, along with Simon Lizotte. But I think it's more of a vacation to come over here and play disc golf in the moderate temperature as it is to compare to the frozen tundra of Finland right now. But he came over here early, practiced in preparation for the Gentlemen's Club and obviously the Memorial next week in Phoenix.
He finds himself about 30, maybe 35 feet short here on hole 14. He went with a lower approach to this. We're going to see Nate Sexton also go with a relatively low approach, but that is not going to have enough power. And Avery, you mentioned it with the last group. We saw 4 players on the previous card all come up short here on this 315-foot downhill shot, and 3 out of the 4 did the same from this card. What's going on?
Very surprising, actually. When you look at this green, it is tucked back here like a poacher stamp, very small green. And you look at, there's actually OB line about 18 to 20 feet behind the basket, and it's a very fast green surface where players might fear that skip or that jump or that roll that could toss them OB, but it seems like a very manageable circle 3 if they were to go out of bounds. 3 of the 4 players leaving it short. Jeremy, the only one to park it and put it right to the pin.
And again, this card is moving down. We're going to get into a better vantage point, and we hear some loud applause taking place from Kale Leviska's shot. Sounds as if, again, holes 14 and 15 somewhat parallel each other. They run a little bit adjacent so we can kind of see what's going on both. This is Austin Turner's going to be lining up his putt here on 14. And dare I say tree-nied? Is that the phrase there?
He had a good line on it, and obviously the tree just got in the way between him and the basket.
Tree-nied. Nate Sexton is also have a little bit of work to do. It's going to be a little flop putt up and over. He doesn't have very far to throw, but
wow,
manages it very well, puts himself within 3 feet of the pin. And although there are a number of shrubs surrounding this basket, Pasi Koivu has put himself in a opening. He's got a good look at birdie here. I think he's going to convert. And convert on the band he did. Avery, Big Germ's going to pick up stroke on his entire, actually on this card and on the card before him.
Yeah, Germ's going to move into a tie for second with Paul McBeth at 18 under par. Actually jump into second solo, 4 strokes back of the lead. Ricky Wystocki still maintain that lead. And see the players just making their moves in position and kind of failed attempts here on the second and third card. Only 1 birdie out of the 8 shots.
And that will leave us in great position to actually get the leader card coming in. We'll be able to catch back up with them. I believe we're going to see some serious congestion here on 15 through 18. So what we'll do is we'll move over and also get this lead card coming down on 14. As Avery has said, just 1 birdie in the last 8 attempts. And we'll see if the lead card can improve on that. Ricky Wystocki is on the tee, and Ricky Wystocki sitting at 24 under par, shooting the hottest round, tied with Paul McBeth at the moment.
Paul McBeth 18, Jeremy Colling 18 with that birdie on 14, and then Johnny McRae at 14. So we got a 3-way tie for second, still sitting 6 back of the leader right here, leaving it short. Kind of unexplainable, really. These players misreading 315. I'm not sure, it may be longer or playing longer. It's definitely downhill. I'm surprised they're leaving it short.
And Johnny McRae's got more than enough power. This is coming in flatter, and that's going to get to the pin. And similar to Big Germ in terms of result, just 8 feet past the basket. Great shot there by Johnny McRae. Eagle McMahon is on the tee. Eagle sitting at 4 down for the round and on the tee.
It does skip past the bushes, left it short again about circle's edge. It's going to be a nice tester putt, maybe one shrub to beat, but leaving it short again. Of all these players, Johnny Mack and Coling, the only ones to test it and leave it a little longer, as we see Ulibarri hanging it out wide to the right, bringing it back in late and displaying great accuracy and control. It should be an easy drop-in birdie for Paul Ulibarri.
And not only have they been coming up short, but when you come up short on this hole, as we're about to see again, you have to contend with all these bushes. It's a very obstructed putt, so it's a little bit of a double whammy. It's almost unexplainable just how many people have come up short. I know they're worried about the OB, but throwing it into a bush 40 feet short of the basket is resulting in pretty much the same thing.
And especially with this tournament being 4 rounds, but you're playing 3 courses, it means 2 of these courses you only have 1 chance at every hole, and this being the 1 chance you get on this hole, left it short. If you don't convert for the birdie, that's the only time you get to play this hole for the weekend. We're looking for Johnny Mack to knock this down, and he's actually going to take position of solo second place to Ricky Wysocki, and looking for Paul and Eagle maybe to get a birdie on 14.
And as our leader card moves down this fairway, we're also catching up with the previous card. Paul Macbeth is putting over on hole number 15. And in the distance behind me, I hear the gallery applauding Macbeth make his putt. Here's Ricky Wysocki outstretched to the left, looking for the birdie here on 14. And Ricky's effort is wide right. We've seen 3 or 4 straddle putts, and every one of them has resulted in wide right. And Avery, you mentioned it, the bush is directly between the basket and where Eagle McMahon lines up.
He's uncertain here on the positioning, trying to go straddle right, straddle left, trying to look for the line or least resistance as he chooses to go straddle right from a knee to open it up. Pretty good yoga stance right here. Kid's young and limber, so.
Elevator going down, and you could tell by his body language that he was very displeased with that position. However, taking a knee, stretching out to the right, playing the hyzer in, and then hitting the elevator button all the way down. Birdie for Eagle McMahon. Seems as if Ricky's to complete my thought, Ricky's cheering gallery has quieted slightly with a par. However, we see Johnny McRae tap in for the easy 2 and Paul Ulibarri tap in for the easy 2. So finally, 3 birdies out of 4 attempts from our leader card. We've got plenty of action as we're going to move 15 through 18. We'll be back with you in a few moments. You're watching live disc golf right here from the Gentlemen's Club Challenge presented by Innova Discs. And we are
I don't care if nobody understands. I'll I'll take the law into my own hands. I don't care if nobody understands. I'll take the law into my own hands. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. TheSpeedTV.com.
You deserve an elite golf experience. Take an epic journey through the best landscapes Las Vegas has to offer. Experience 144 holes of spectacular golf at our 6 professionally designed championship courses, featuring Spanish Trail Country Club, Mountain Falls Golf Club, and Wild Horse Golf Club. Call about elite golf packages for locals and tourists. Elite Golf, the new face of golf management. Book your tee time today.
And joining us back on the green of hole number 15, we see Nate Sexton with his birdie attempt. Looked to be just inside the circle. Avery, again, we've only seen Nate put up a few putts here, but hasn't converted.
He's in for par on 15. Very dissatisfied. Left it an inch low, maybe a half inch low. Just unfortunate. You just need to get a little more lift on that. Might be due to the cold. Discs definitely feel a little stiffer with the colder temperatures, and something to really consider it later in the round as that sun starts to drop, the temperature starts to drop as well.
That's pretty elaborate, Avery. I was just going to blame the beard, but that makes more sense. All right, and we are waiting, a little bit of a silent moment here as we are waiting for the groups. Again, 15 and 16 run somewhat adjacent to each other. Back on the lead card, we're going to have Johnny McRae teeing off, I believe, in just a few moments here. We're glad everyone could join us here for this PDGA National Tour event opening up the season just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada, and that is Johnny McRae coming in low. And it looks like you'll have a putt from that position. Johnny McRae with a great park job on the previous hole, resulting in a birdie. We finally saw 3 of 4 on hole number 14. Cash in on the birdie opportunity.
Yeah, Johnny Mac's on a little run right now. He's birdied the last 3 in a row. Put himself in good position on 15 to go 4 in a row. Currently tied for second with Paul McBeth as he birdied number 15, sitting at 19 under par, still 5 strokes back.
And not too often do you see a massive overhand come flying in, and that did just that. Landed about 20 feet from the pin and then rolled back about another 8. There will be a little bit of an obstructed bush in the way.
Eagle displaying some good power on the overhand shot. Passe going forehand shot, a little short to the right side. Up fourth and last to tee is Ricky Wysocki with a lone par on 14.
And as we've mentioned before, Ricky Wysocki out in the lead. He's coming right at us, and he's played this one wide, and he will have a uphill putt from about 65, maybe 70 feet. That's going to be a tough one for even Ricky Wysocki to run at.
You think he's running it?
I don't second guess anything that Ricky Wysocki does. It is perched on top of the hill. He may actually lay off just a little bit, but I've seen crazier things out of Ricky Wysocki. And we see a nice-sized gallery has formed. Again, a little bit of congestion found on the course here on holes 15 through 18 that will result as actually a benefit to the gallery. They can kind of just turn and pivot, see a number of different holes being played at the exact same time. And we see our leader card moving down the fairway. Big shout out Ian Anderson and the rest of the crew from Central Coast, bringing you the shot-by-shot coverage. Those guys are working on both the Open men's card throughout the weekend as well as the Open women's card, giving you guys leader card next day coverage. Huge shout out Central Coast. Avery, you ask if he's running it, and he was running it down only a third of the way there.
There you go, Rick.
Ricky knew it was in.
Fortunately, he does run that kind of stuff. That's why he's got a lead.
And Paul Ulibarri, with less than half that distance, isn't able to convert. Ricky Wysocki not phased as he is in the zone here. What a shot by Ricky Wysocki.
That's why I asked you the question. I wasn't going to actually answer it. I asked you the question and see if you'd answer for me.
Well, I think Ricky answered for the both of us. And Eagle McMahon has a little bit of work to do. He's going to look for that same magic he had on the previous hole. He's going to be straddling out to the right, and he may have to play a slight hyzer on this to get around that bush in front of him. And a premature yup from the gallery that looked dead center, and it just trickled out the backside. A little bit heartbreaking for Eagle. And Johnny McRae converts, so we'll see a long birdie by Ricky Wysocki and also a birdie by Johnny McRae. The other two card mates are going to walk away with pars. Avery, on the next hole when we get there, I'll pose the question, is anyone going to be able to keep up with Ricky Wysocki? We'll be back in a few moments. Stay tuned here for the Gentlemen's Club Challenge.
I'll take the law into my own hands. I don't care if nobody understands. I'll take the law into my own hands. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, I'm gonna go my way. No matter what you say.
just completed his throw. Second to tee will be Austin Turner.
An extremely tough lefty hole as it goes down and bends to the left. He takes a little tight, a little low, but the crowd gave him a good reaction. He might be in bounds. A couple late claps.
I was still trying to decipher if you said late claps or late craps, as in the craps table, which I heard has treated a few of our players quite well out here. That's Pasi Koivu. Fourth and final tee shot here by Nate Sexton.
A very conservative play by Sexton and leaving it wide right. Not even going to flirt with the OB or the trees. It's a very long par 3, 515 feet dog leg left. So to really attack this hole, you got to bring it like Germ did, try to go over the top. But there is a green, a golf green short of that, which I believe he found on that tee shot.
I'm going to warn you right now, Avery, that anytime you call Nate Sexton conservative or his play, you may be hearing it from someone on the Nate Sexton camp. So although that was a very safe and solid shot, watch that conservative term, because Nate will beg to differ.
Well, fortunately, this course is not playing soft today, so it's a very difficult and challenging course, and Nate being a very patient and focused player, he played the course correctly and very conservative.
All right, well, we'll see if that results in a 3. This hole, really, that's what most of the players are going to be looking for. As you said, measuring in at 516 feet up into the left with a green in the way. Really, you want a 3 and you want to just pretty much move on.
To force anything more than a 3 on this, trying to get the 2, you're taking a lot of chance, taking a lot of risk, and you saw those shots right there. The last 2 really kind of laying it out wide and just trying to line up a clean second shot to walk away with a par 3 on hole 16.
As we're watching our second card move up, hole number 16, we'll make sure to give you the most recent scoring update thanks to PDGAlive.com. Ricky Wysocki, with that last birdie, moves to 8 under for the round and at 25 under overall. Johnny McRae at 20 under, sitting 5 strokes back of first. Paul McBeth at 19 under, and Jeremy Colling and Eagle McMahon both sitting at 18 under right now. So those are your top 4 scores, which consist of 5 players. So a little bit of jockeying around. We're going to see who's going to finish in that 4th position. Still some movement can happen, but we're looking for those top 4 scores. I think it's safe to say we'll see Ricky Wysocki on that leader card tomorrow. And depending on what happens in the next few shots, will it be McRae, McBeth, Colling, McMahon, Paul Ulibarri could still jump up there. There's a little shifting that can take place. And Avery, I know I posed the question as we were moving away from the previous green, and I'll ask again, is Ricky Wysocki in the zone, and is he still catchable? Because he seems to be pulling away.
Seems like he's always in the zone at some capacity, and there's a reason why he's got a 5-stroke lead, because he keeps on hoisting up 70-footers and knocking them down. Anything inside that, I'm sure it's probably a lot easier. But, uphill 70, 75-footer, looking at death, after a very errant shot to the left, I questioned that a little bit. I was asking you the question to see if you'd answer it, but he responded with that answer they were both looking for. So incredible putt, and really giving the spectator gallery a show today.
Wysocki will have the second, I believe. Johnny McRae birdied also on the previous hole, so McRae with the honors. Wysocki will be throwing second here in a few moments. And you talked about it earlier, as the sun goes down out here in the desert, you can quickly lose any kind of heat that has maintained throughout the day. We see Paul Ulibarri sporting a beanie cap of sorts at the moment. A lot of players wearing long sleeves, long pants, and it's only going to get colder for the next 15 to 20 minutes while we're still out here. Johnny McRae with a solid shot out here. Not much of a reaction from the gallery. Johnny's not sure if it's safe, but we're going to assume it is. And Ricky a little bit wide on that right side. It's getting a nice skip though as that comes down. Third to tee will be Eagle McMahon.
Of all the players on this card right now, I expect maybe a little more aggressive play out of Eagle. He definitely has the arm to get there. 515, I think he can cut off a lot of distance by taking it high and tight.
I think he may even throw a driver.
Gets up on it and unleashes a monster drive. Got to stand up flat a little more than he wanted to, I believe. Looking for a late finish left. That is in bounds, but a little wider right than I expected.
And as you mentioned, Avery, with the amount of power that we just saw Eagle McMahon throw that with, just seemed to as if it maybe just not enough stability on that disc for him. He was definitely going for the big crush. However, seemed to get up on him and go straighter than he was hoping for. As we move down the fairway, we'd like to thank again all of our supporting sponsors and tournament sponsors that have helped out here at the Gentlemen's Club Challenge. Make sure that you tune into Smashbox TV on Tuesday nights for our disc golf podcast, but also you can play fantasy disc golf. Check that out. We have a number of leagues going on. Everyone is welcome to play and compete throughout the entire year. Please make sure you check fantasy disc golf. And here we are with just 3 holes to play, 2.5, I should say, Avery. No matter what happens in these next 2.5 holes, I guarantee we're going to have a great leader card tomorrow.
I absolutely guarantee it, no matter who's on a leader card with these top 2-3 groups. Quality players, world-class professionals, and looking forward to some fireworks coming in Sunday. As we're doing a shout out to our sponsors, I want to thank Adidas and Adidas Outdoor and the Terex for sponsoring this awesome course here. They're one of the 3 core sponsors, including Disc Golf Values and Innova Champion Discs.
Great looking forehand approach there by Paul Ulibarri. That's going to leave him a little low and left, but good angle at the basket for a putt. And Tricky Ricky going with the skip off the golf green. Were you planning on that, Avery?
I wasn't expecting that anyway, and it's kind of fun to watch players have fun with these kind of shots, maybe trying to give it a chance, maybe up and in. And like I said, if he sees a basket, he's usually probably going to try and give it a chance to go in.
And Eagle McMahon is wide and right here. Again, needed a little bit more stability on that crush that he put on. Does find himself safe However, he's going to have a little bit of a challenging lie. It looks like he's got a low ceiling to contend with, so he's got to throw it uphill and has a low ceiling and has already taken a knee. I think a forehand might be his best shot, and that's what he's lining up here. Maybe if he throws a backhand, he's really going to have to adjust the angle of that disc as it comes in to try and get it to sit down. And that's why he's opting for the forehand, looking for that right side finish.
A nice choice of shots, taking a knee, trying to get under the low ceiling branches, catches a few twigs out the gap, but checks up close to the pin, backside for a tap-in par.
Johnny McRae gets a golf clap from the gallery. Johnny McRae proving here that in his experienced Masters age, certainly keeping up with the young bucks as he finds himself sitting in second place right now. Really no surprise there with all of the skill sets. Our 2016 Masters World Champion in Johnny McRae. And I think Yuli even second-guessed that for a moment. He thought he pulled it wide right. However, it caught all of the chains, brought it back in. Eagle McMahon should be able to clean up here from 15 feet. And 4 for 4 with threes here. We're going to be back with you in a few moments. Stay tuned. You're watching live disc golf right here on Spin TV.
TheSpinTV.com.
Avery, I believe that's referred to as a grenade. When's the last time you saw one of those?
It's been a few holes. Now, I haven't seen one today, but it's a very effective shot when done and done properly over the top of the tree, spiking close to the basket.
And puring the gap is Paul Ulibarri with a beautiful flex shot forehand. Hole 17 measuring in at just 210 feet. Yesterday, and watching our Pro Masters competing on this hole, we noticed that no one was able to get near the basket, even for some of the top few cards. So this hole providing plenty of challenge, albeit the shortest hole on the course, as they had to narrowly make it through these tunnel shots. Avery, it looks like we may see a long attempt here And I stand corrected. We will have no long attempts. Just a little bit of obstruction here by Wysocki. And Wysocki, never a doubt from just about circle's edge. Solid putt by Johnny McRae. 2 chances, 2 birdies here thus far on hole number 17. Eagle McMahon's grenade shot looks to have landed about 28, maybe 30 feet left of the pin. And Eagle makes it 3 for 3. Yuli looking to complete the star frame. And scooping in and out is Paul Ulibarri's putt from approximately 16 feet. Paul showing great composure, as you know he's disappointed with that, as we move over to our final hole, which will be the 54th hole of the tournament. We'll be back with you in a few moments with score updates from Avery Jenkins and the Disc Golf Guy. We'll be back with you in 60 or less. And Johnny McRae on the tee. Ricky Wysocki was trying to take it from him, but McRae reminded him, simmer down, son. And And a great shot there by Ricky Wysocki, coming up short of the OB green.
I'm not going yet.
And Eagle McMahon is going to wait for the second card to clear out here. And Eagle getting prepared here in a few moments to be throwing his tee shot. And Avery, we are watching Eagle go after this pin. And just how far of a crush is that? The gallery erupts up near the pin.
It's a 575-foot hole, slight uphill at the end, and he got at least 550 on that. That was a mash. Most of the rest of the lead card either going backhand layup shots with a mid-range or a forehand driver out of Ricky. Eagle waiting for the second card to clear the green before he attacks this 575-foot par 4, looking to finish with an eagle. Incredible. Incredible.
Well, Eagle making a push here. He wants to find himself on that leader card tomorrow, where we're going to be bringing you all of the action over at the Innova Golf Course out here at Wild Horse Golf Club. And Avery, let's take a look at the scores. We're seeing that our final group is, of course, moving up the fairway here on the 54th hole. That means, thanks to PDGA Live, we should be able to get some unofficial updates. Again, we're always checking the scorecards. The PDGA Live does great. We have volunteerism and lots of people helping out. We'll wait for all the cards to come in, and it'll be posted later tonight. But for now, unofficially, what are we seeing on PDGALive.com?
Well, lead card through hole 17. Ricky took a birdie in the last hole to go 9 down for the round, 26 overall. Holds a 5-stroke lead over second place Johnny McRae, who's 6 down for the round. Paul Macbeth actually finished the round on 18 with a birdie to finish 9 down for the round in third place at 20 under. So he's 6 strokes back of lead. And we're kind of jockeying for position here to see who's going to want this 4th spot going in the last round.
Needs to sit down. It looked like he had just about the right amount of power. Takes a little bit of a back roll. However, he should be fine from there. I believe that was some form of putter. I believe he went putter off the tee and then the approach. Johnny with a tap-in 3, played perfectly. And Wysocki looking to extend his lead even further with another birdie here.
Yeah, Johnny Mac using his experience, not trying to bite off too much, going putter, and a drop-in 3 to finish off the round.
And there's not enough that can be said about the effort here by Eagle McMahon on this drive. Wow. As Eagle approaches his lie, there's a sizable gallery out here taking in the action. And we'll see if Eagle can convert. And understandably, the gallery erupts as Eagle cards the 2 here on hole 18. And Wysocki will tap in here for the easy birdie. Johnny McRae taps in. Avery Jenkins, there was no shortage of fireworks here on the final hole. We see 3 birdies and then the massive crush by Eagle McMahon to bring in the eagle. That's going to push him onto that leader card or keep him on the leader card going into Championship Sunday.
Yeah, it absolutely guarantees it. So Ricky Wysocki birdied the last hole to go to 27. McRae birdied to go 22, still 5 back. And Eagle actually leapfrogged Macbeth to get solo third going in the last round. Macbeth holding strong at 20 under to round out the top 4 going into Sunday.
So we've got a star-studded cast here tomorrow. Really no surprise there. We're through 54 holes. We have a final 18 holes tomorrow. We're at the Innova course. Can you make any predictions at this point other than great golf?
Great golf. Absolutely guarantee it. Ricky Wysocki's on a tear right now. Like I said, a 5-stroke lead going into Sunday. His putter's hot. He's playing well. He won the first major of the year in Australia. He's pretty much unstoppable right now, but there's going to be a lot of good golf tomorrow. I guarantee that, and players are going to play very aggressive to try to catch him. So looking forward to the action.
We are. Well, we're out here at the Wild Horse Golf Club. They've been great hosts to us, as well as the Las Vegas Disc Golf Club, Innova Champion Disc, and of course Adidas Terex and Adidas Outdoors for being supporters and sponsors. This has been an amazing opportunity here on Spin TV. Thank you for joining me throughout the day, Avery. I'd like to say thank you to all of the collaborators, Jamie Thomas and everyone else at Spin, along with Central Coast, who's going to be bringing you action from both the women's lead card as well as this lead card, condensed a little bit quicker, actually a lot quicker. So hope you guys can enjoy that as well. So for Johnny V, who's back at the controls in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for Chad Inman, along with Gary to the O, Avery Jenkins, and myself, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, this has been a great day of golf. We'll see you tomorrow for Championship Sunday right here at the 2017 Gentlemen's Club Challenge.